everyone, welcome to my channel Gardening Diary, and this is your friend Nimi. I hope everybody is safe and well. The situation in our country is really bad because of this corona. Please take care of yourselves and help others as much as you can. If you're watching my channel for the first time, you can go ahead and subscribe to get more updates and information, tips about growing roses, gerbera, and a lot of other flowering plants. This video is about how to pot a gerbera, which is newly bought from nursery. You can even follow that if you're repotting a gerbera plant that is at your home. There have been questions around how to pot and how to take care and a lot of stuff. In this video, it's already there in Tamil language. I'm trying to post it in English. I hope this is helpful for folks out there. I bought this gerbera during the last week of May, around 31st, and I potted during that weekend. So I'm going to demonstrate how I pot and how I've been doing this all these years. You would have seen my gerbera plants, how they are. So a lot of learnings. I hope this is helpful for you guys. So this pot is already filled with the potting mix, which consists of equal part of Cocopeat, sandy garden soil, dried cow dung powder. You can use Vermi compost or any type of compost if you do not have dried cow dung powder. Ensure this garden soil that you're using is of sandy texture and not the typical clay type of soil, which is the red soil that we normally have in South India. Additionally, SAF, which is a fungicide, it's optional though. We'll be using that for our first watering. Alternatively, you can even use that to wash the plant first and then pot. And neem cake powder, if available, which is also good, which I always use whenever I'm potting any new plant. Okay, that is all we'll be needing. And ensure the soil texture for the potting mix is supposed to be very loose, like how you see. It's not at all soggy or very wet or clumsy. So that is how it should be. Because this pot is pre-filled, I'm going to remove some of the soil because we need to put this plant in. So I'm making room for it. Always remember the pot has good drainage. The holes are there. If not, if you're using a plastic pot, ensure you put holes on them before you fill the pot with the potting mix. All right. So let's go ahead and remove the plant from the poly bag and then we'll pot it. And while you do, keep in mind if there are any leaves which are yellow or brown or which are kind of rotting, remove them and then plant it. And also while planting, remove the red soil or whatever soil the plant comes with, because that is not good in long run actually. I tend to remove all the soil the plant comes with, regardless of the size, because whenever we get it from nursery, they kind of use a different textured potting mix, which is very hard. It dries out very quickly, which is not suitable when we pot at home. So ensure you wet the plant before we remove the soil, otherwise it would be hard and it'll be difficult to remove. The roots may break. So if it is wet, it's very easy to loosen it up a little bit, and then we can remove all the soil very easily and try to remove as much as you can. We may not be able to remove it 100%. Yes, you can if we wash it, but I'm not getting up, so I'm not going to wash it. I'll try to remove as much as I can, and then I'll directly pot it. If you can do two things. You can wash the plant completely and then pot it, or you can prepare the fungicide solution and keep the cleaned plant in that fungicide liquid for 5 minutes, and then you can pot it. That plant had one yellow leaf which I removed. I have removed almost all the soil from that plant, which you can see, and now we'll pot it directly. While potting, ensure the pot has enough room to keep the plant, and we should not cover the crown of the plant while potting, which is important. If you have neem cake powder while potting, just before keeping the plant inside and cover it with soil, just use a little bit of a handful of neem cake powder. Just sprinkle it and mix it on the soil, and then we can pot it. Another tip to keep in mind while potting any plant is to do it in the morning before the temperature rises, which is by 7 at least, or late in the evening when the heat dies down. So the plant will have enough time to recover from the shock. I usually do it in the evening time so that they'll have this whole night where the weather is little cool comparatively to the daytime, and they can come back to normal. Now that we have potted this beautiful Gebera plant, I'm going to use some of this fungicide powder to water it. Just a pinch, very little, not exactly a pinch, a little bit, a tiny bit of it. And that's a 1 liter container. Fill it with regular tap water. Ensure the water is cold and not warm or hot. And then water it thoroughly. After potting or repotting any plant and watering it, try to keep that plant in a shady area where they do not get direct sunlight. I tend to keep it for at least 2 days. If it is very hot, I even try to keep it for 2 to 3 days before I move it to a place where they get sunlight. Yes, Gebera needs sunlight, so they cannot really grow on a complete shady area. Okay, so we have now got the fungicide water. Let's water it. And if you notice, the crown is not fully covered. It's not buried under the soil because that is where the new leaves and buds would come out. And also we have little room for additional manuring after a couple of weeks. And while potting, keep in mind that you need to press the soil, the potting mix a little bit using your hands, applying a little bit of pressure. Because the soil is loose, after we water, it may go down too much if it is not potted properly. We have watered the plant fully, almost till the rim of the pot, the entire solution which we mixed, and the water is draining already. If the potting mix is right and the pot has good drainage, all the water that we pour should drain out in less than 30 seconds. Otherwise, you can understand that there is something wrong. On the first day, you may probably notice the plant is kind of, the leaves are all drooped because of the shock. And if we do it in the evening time, it should be okay, actually. That is what I've experienced. And keep it in the shady area for a couple of days, and then you slowly move it to a place where they get morning sunlight, which is not very harsh. The sunlight which comes between 7 to 10. So let them get used to it before you move it to full sunlight after a few more days. So it's like a small process, like taking care of a small baby. And once they're comfortable, then we'll put them on full sunlight and start manuring after 2 weeks. So growing Gerbera is not at all difficult. Follow the simple method to plant or pot a Gerbera. And I also link additional Gerbera videos that I have in English at the end of this video as a playlist, so you can learn and make use of it. That's all on this video, folks. Hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have more questions or any doubts at all. Happy to help always. If you want to share your pictures and ask any questions, you can follow me on my Facebook page, Gardening Diary. So that way I can respond back and that'll be really helpful. And you can also check in on this channel's community page where I'll post updates almost every day. So happy gardening, everybody. We'll meet on another video. Till we meet again, this is your friend Nimi saying goodbye from Gardening Diary. Bye-bye, everyone.